All right, we starting too. Anyways, welcome back everybody to the Key Wave Podcast. This is episode 6 we're starting right now. Couple of things though. We got a new man to the crew.
Hey.
We got the cameraman. His name's Elijah. We call him the Book of Eli around here. Because he's that real. But anyways, as you already know who it is, it's me, Ivan. Got my boy, Kev, day one with me.
Hey, you
as always. And of course, we got the handle guy as always, bro.
Is that a new thing?
Yeah,
Handle guy?
Hey, bro, that's the new thing, Javel.
Oh, shit, the handle guy, Jacquees.
Hey, bro, you already know what it is. But, yeah, man. I mean, it might not seem like this to y'all listening, but it's been about 2 weeks since we've been making this.
It has been a minute, it feels like.
It feels like forever.
It has been a minute. I don't know why. How long has it really been, though?
It's been 2 weeks because we recorded
5 a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Really? It's been 2 weeks?
I feel like we recorded 5 early in the week, and then we took a week off.
Maybe that's what it was.
So it's like it feels longer than maybe
Than it
what
needs
it
to
really
be.
was.
Shit, maybe I'm just over-exaggerating. I don't know. Either way, I'm excited to be back.
Facts.
Yeah.
We're going to hit you with all kind of shit today from all different realms. Not really all different realms, but different parts of the world today.
Yeah, we all over the place.
Sure, bro. I'm just stay tuned to the end, guys, because y'all going to have to hear this education we about to drop on y'all.
Yeah.
Facts.
Nothing but knowledge out
We
here,
taking
bro.
you back to 9th grade.
Hey, bro.
Knowledge.
Ninth grade.
Yeah, that's when I had sex ed.
Oh, I had that shit like
That was like 6th grade for me.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
actually, it was 5th grade for me.
It was 5th grade.
And then
okay,
we got more
taking
into
you back
it
to
6th
middle
grade.
school. I did have it in middle school. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
That's when I was in 9th grade. I was like,
I just remember Coach Turner.
oh.
So anybody from Graham who remembers Coach Turner, R.I.P. to the GOAT, bro, because he taught me, never to trust these whores.
Hey, bro, you don't love these hoes. I'm about to dope.
So,
But what's on the agenda for the day, Kev?
Wait, let's do social medias real
all
quick.
right, socials.
Oh, well,
Okay, so shout out our socials. Go give us a follow. We have our Instagram, Twitter, and we have YouTube now at Key Wave Podcast, K-I Wave Podcast. And actually, I want to shout out to Elijah. His social media, well, his Instagram is Elijah Britt. Elijah, B-R-I-T-T. If you don't know how to spell Elijah, something's wrong. But
Stupid.
Facts.
yeah,
But yeah,
pretty
that's
much.
about it.
But yeah, I forgot
All right,
about the
Kev.
socials. But yeah, let's for real though, shouts out to Elijah for real for actually taking the time out of his day to come and record
Back to
this
the
shit.
spotlight.
Yeah, hey, bro, he's a cameraman from this day forward.
Right.
So
if you need somebody for some, photography, videography, all that good stuff, that's the guy. So get that IG social.
yeah, because
He does birthdays, he does weddings, he does all that, bro.
he
the
does.
dope.
Hey, bro, he don't discriminate. He does sex tapes too if you want that too. So.
If you get down with the get down.
Yeah, so just let you. He got a drone too, so you want them aerial shots and them sex tapes. He got you too.
Also, just because we need our socials up, I have this $15 Apple gift card that I will give away for we'll do like a drawing or something like that. Like the first 50 people, 20 people, so it's an easier number.
Okay.
More chances for you to, get a $15 gift card for Apple if that's what your thing.
Wow, that's a curveball.
Yeah.
I was not known. Look
What
at
a-
Santa Claus out here coming early, bruh.
Yeah, and I need the ho-ho-hos.
Stop.
All right, I'm
But you got me.
We don't want you, John. Man.
Oh, that's tough. That hurt.
hurt my
All
heart.
But anyways, Kev, go ahead and let the people know what we got on the agenda for the day.
All right. Well, I ain't gonna give you everything because I want y'all to listen to the whole thing. But
true.
I'm gonna start with the first thing, and it's something that I thought was pretty interesting. So Trump is getting backed for pushing Bible classes in schools. It started with evangelicals. A lot of evangelicals, a lot of these Christian people are backing Trump. Throughout his whole campaign, even though, Trump has done some very unholy things before, during, and probably after this campaign. But one thing he was trying to push was bringing back Bible literacy classes. So basically not really, and they're optional. They're not mandatory classes either. So I just want to throw that out there too. But they're optional classes for kids to learn about the Bible as like a actual reference and as a, book source, not like a Bible school or anything like that, but actually read the text, analyze the text, and learn about what it is that the Bible talks about and represents. I thought that was interesting because this has been going on for a while, even before his presidency. Different states like Kentucky, Iowa, Alabama, they've all considered adding Bible literacy bills and trying to get them passed for years now. A lot of people have been turning them down just because, First Amendment, separation of church and state, that whole aspect. A lot of people are worried that, if they bring Bible classes to the school, that they'll be misrepresented or teachers would take advantage and start, preaching in classes and kind of get away from actually teaching it, but kind of making it like a like conversion class. Like, you come into the class believing whatever you want to believe, and then you got to come out Christian. Like, they start basing things off of that. So there's a lot of debate, a lot of controversy about it, but yeah, in a nutshell, that's about it. And so we're gonna open up today with, of course, how do you feel about bringing the Bibles into schools?
You got it, Ivan. You go first.
You really want me to go first?
I mean, yeah.
Actually,
Jeff will go first.
let me go first because I feel like they're going to talk forever. For me, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
Just because, actually, maybe they should like split the classrooms up. Like the Christian kids should be in the class, Because I don't know if they can actually do that though.
Well, like I said, that's why I made it pointed. This is optional. Like, this
Optional?
is like elective.
Okay.
Like,
It's like an
elective.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
So-
yeah. I don't really have a problem with it then. Now obviously, if you're an atheist, I don't have a problem with atheists at all, by the way. But if you are, then like, just don't be in the class, I guess.
Mm.
I mean, that's why that's why I don't really have a problem. If they're forcing it, I'd have a problem with it.
Mhm.
But if it's optional, then it's just like,
yeah,
that's really my standpoint on it. I mean, I don't really have a problem with it, but I know some people are, some people aren't. It just depends on who the person is.
yeah, I totally agree. Like,
yeah.
I don't see a problem with having the option.
Yeah, the
I
option,
mean,
exactly.
It's only an option. Nobody
Mhm.
has to take it. Shoot, they probably bring it out there, and nobody might take it. Like,
Facts,
you
facts,
never
exactly.
know. But me
Yeah.
personally, like I said, I'm a Christian, so
Exactly, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't have a problem with
Mhm.
the Bible being taught. I feel like if some people took the class, they'd have a better understanding of the class, because right now, like, I'm doing online school, and one of my classes is Christian worldviews, and just being in that class, like, it's giving me even more understanding of something I thought I already knew.
Yeah, see, exactly.
And I'm already learning new things
help
about the
you.
Bible.
Yeah.
That I didn't know. Like,
Exactly. So
So
that's what I'm saying. I don't really have a problem with it, especially if it's optional. If they're forcing it, that's a
Yeah.
different topic. Like,
and
that's a
why
different standpoint on it.
they were saying stuff about the First Amendment, which
Yeah.
is like, yeah, okay, then I'd have a problem. Like, you can't force somebody to be a Christian.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't
Yeah, that's
force
why I don't
them.
really have a problem with it. But yeah, that's really my standpoint. That's really it for me. I went over there smiling.
I
Just
mean-
like,
I know
I
he wanted
really
to say
don't give a
something.
damn about this shit, whether or
I
not
know
you're
that.
Christian or not. In the sense, and I don't mean to like say that in a bad way, but this is me. Okay, I understand it's completely optional. Cool. Because, again, we can't force people to take these classes if you're not Christian, right?
Right.
I'm Christian, well, Catholic, but it's a Christian sect.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't agree with it. Just for the fact that, why are you making Christianity or, the Bible, or bringing the spotlight onto the Bible? Why can't we just have just religious classes in, you know what I'm saying? Instead of it being just
I
the
see what
Bible,
you-
why don't
okay.
you just make it a just religion class? And that way you're getting an overview of not just Christianity, but
Other
other
religions?
religions as well.
Okay.
Because this is my whole thing. The reason I don't agree with this is because to me, it's more like they're pushing, and I understand because it's a Christian basis for America to some degree. Like, apparently like the default religion in America is Christianity.
True.
And look, I understand that, but you have to understand that not everybody here is Christian.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So even if they offer it as an elective, it's still trying to, like, I guess, single out Christianity from everything else.
I didn't look at it like that,
Yeah.
to be honest. So.
Yeah, I didn't either. Like,
And that's the only reason I don't agree with it. Why not? Because if we're trying to make America this, melting pot to some degree, why single out the Christian views that have always been here, instead of trying to make it to where people understand each other from different religious aspects?
oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? And I understand, like, if you want to take it just to get a general or more understanding of your Christian views, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Kind of like the class you're taking, it gives you more of an insight, right?
Yeah.
But in a public school, like, if you're doing like actual like public school like systems like K through 12,
Mm-hmm.
I would assume they'd make that like that class or that elective within your high school years.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point you kind of have more of an understanding than you would anywhere between K through 8th grade.
Yeah.
Right. But that's just me. I think they should make it more of just a religion class.
Yeah.
That way you get, Christianity, you get Islam, you have, Judaism and stuff like that.
Ooh, you just keep going.
And stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get more of a general, even like the lesser known religions, you know, just to some degree. That way you have a general understanding, and that way everybody else can just understand what the hell's going on too.
Right.
Especially with different religions.
Right, because I think, to be honest with me, that's just the biggest thing why people disagree with religions, because they don't understand everybody else's.
Yeah.
And I feel like they have a better understanding, then they wouldn't be as hardcore about it.
So to me, if they just did a Bible study class, or, you know, just something that's focuses just on like understanding the Bible, that gives more of a focus on that. And then it's just like, to me, it just blocks everything else out.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I don't agree with it.
Okay.
I like that. And honestly, as I'm listening to that, you gave me like 1,000 different ideas of like what they could do. So
yeah, that's just, like I said.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't really think of it like that.
Yeah. So like,
Ivan takes everything and puts like the bigger picture on it, like the bigger perspective.
So we do, and then that's how
I just had like this small perspective on it. He just like made it so much bigger.
Yeah, and then I'm about to make it small again.
Hey,
so hear me out. All right. So like
All
Ivan
right.
said, like, you know, they should do like a bunch of classes that teach multiple religions, like a world religions course. Because I took one of those too.
Yeah, I did
at
too.
ACC.
Yeah,
Okay.
I took it with Dr. Carter was his name. He was
Hey, Mr.
Carter.
Hey. Hello.
Tell me where you been.
Bro, no, he was but just stop, bro. But now, even whenever he got, because, you know, he was a Christian man, but when we got to the topic of Christianity, he never once made it seem, you know,
Like his favoritism.
no, not favoriting Christianity. He gave a great, you know, comparison between everything else and what the like small little differences were in like the little nuances between each religion.
Right.
So it made you realize, like, hey, yo, like these religions are more connected than they are split.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, that's just me.
True. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, do like a world religions class, give you a little bit of everything, and then if you so choose, like that could be like a prereq to the Bible literacy course.
Yeah.
So you know, if you're like, hey, Christianity was kind of cool, let me learn more about that. Here's a Bible literacy course where you can learn about Christ, you can learn about Jesus, that whole New Testament story as well as the Old Testament, because a lot of people don't understand. Like, I feel like a lot of people discredit Christianity in the Bible because they hear the New Testament and know about the story of Jesus, and then like, man, there ain't no proof that Jesus was real, this, that, and the third. But people discredit and don't think about the origin story as well in the Old Testament, which is basically the creation story.
Right.
And granted, you can still be like, well, that's not real either, you know. But at least that gives you a better, like, you can separate the two. Like, if you're against it because of Jesus, don't forget the old, like, you know. So
well, yeah, but then, guys, I really don't want to go on a tangent with religion because I really don't want to offend anybody today.
hey, no,
But
it's a great day to offend somebody.
Because going to the whole religion thing, because I completely agree with what you're saying, Kev. I think they should make it to where like a world religion class should be the prerequisite, and then cause what colleges always do. Oh, you want to take a French course? Cool.
You gotta get that intro base.
You got the intro. That way, when you go into your intermediate and advanced courses, you know what the hell you're talking about. So I think that's what they should do. World religion, you know, just for the sake of the argument, whatever, we'll just call it World Religion 101, right? Take that, and then after that, you got your 200 level courses. Okay, what do you want to talk? Do you want to go more in depth into which field? But at least that way, you're offering the option of different religions, not just making it one single thing.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that.
But going back to what I was going to say beforehand, because you were saying, you know, how even you're saying, I believe you said Christians even like discredit, like, I guess, whether or not Jesus is real or not.
Yeah, like different parts of the Bible, you know, people just like,
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Well, I guess people have to understand that this is a belief. So for somebody that doesn't believe, let's just say somebody that's just not religious at all, right? They're like, hey, I don't believe in God. Right. Somebody's going to obviously get bent out of shape. Oh, why don't you believe in God? This, that, and the third happens, right? Okay. That's your belief.
Yeah.
You know? And what I mean by that is, just because you believe God is real doesn't mean somebody else has to. And on top of that, you have to understand that the Bible, what's in there, we don't know whether or not it's true or what happened is true or not. We weren't alive there. Again, we believe we believe in what the word says.
Gotta believe in something.
Right. But at the end of the day, we don't know if this shit's true or not.
Exactly. Like, And then it goes back to like, you know, a lot of people don't know that the Bible has been altered, and well, that they know, but like it's been altered and translated multiple times.
Right.
So it's like maybe some of it's true, but then they threw some not so true parts
Right,
in there.
exactly.
Like, you know, people love to fudge up a story and make it a little bit better. Like, oh yeah, I went to the club and I got 20 bitches numbers last night.
Exactly. In
Really,
reality,
you got 2.
Exactly.
And then the other 18 was like, get out my face. Like, you know, so but
Exactly. Again, it's just a matter of belief. Just because you believe in something doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
Yeah. And I feel like nowadays people get like so strung up about other people's beliefs or opinions because it's like you can't believe something unless it's a fact.
Right.
Like if you hit me up with and say, "Oh, you believe in Jesus," like prove it. Then prove to me Jesus is real. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to prove it. This is what I believe.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing, because people get bent out of shape. Like those real, like, and I'm not saying all Christians are like that, but those like really extreme Christians that the moment you say one little bad thing, they down your throat about things.
They flip out.
Yeah, understand that that's what you believe in.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter, just because you have a belief doesn't make it true.
Mm-hmm.
It could be completely false. For all we know, we could be following the wrong religion,
That's true.
and that's
too.
for all religions across the board, not just Christianity.
Yeah.
I'm not saying one is right over the other, one's better than the other, because no religion is, to me, is better than one another.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you pick who you want to believe in, and you make sure you with wholeheartedness believe
You go.
that is the right way to follow life.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if that ain't it, hey, at least you believe in something.
Yeah. At least you gotta believe in something, man. That's more of the story.
Yeah, exactly. Just remember that a belief doesn't make it a fact.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And it's okay to have different beliefs and opinions.
Exactly. But also, just going forward, just because you disagree with something or you don't see eye to eye on a certain view or whatever it is, doesn't necessarily mean you have to go and kill each other or hate each other.
That's a big one.
Because people fail to realize that just because you disagree with somebody, it's not the end of the world. That's why we're here. If everybody agreed, then the world would be boring as shit.
Yeah.
It'd be peaceful though.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know, but I don't even know about that.
Bruh, to me, it's all about the yin and yang. You gotta have balance.
Yeah.
If you have too much peace, it's gonna outweigh like the scale and some.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you have to have balance.
Just imagine you walk outside. Hello, Javel. Hello. Like, dude, everybody's just so friendly. Like, granted, that'd be cool. But eventually it's like, damn, somebody get mad. somebody
fight.
or something.
Yeah. Someone throw a chair, bro.
Yeah, right, boondocks.
Somebody throw a
Now
chair.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
But
Now, it still goes back to, like you said, we ain't got to kill. But at least,
like to me, it's just, if you disagree, it's all about proper discourse. You should always be able to defend your beliefs and your opinions with something. Don't just sit there and just take, oh, I don't, believe you for this reason. Oh, well, can you elaborate on that? And be like, I can't. At that point, nigga, you just disagree and agree to disagree. You want attention. Shut up.
Yeah, I don't.
But again, if you disagree with somebody, that doesn't mean you got to go up and start airing a bitch out. Plain and simple.
Right. Fact.
Just remember that all you have to do is see where they're coming from, understand their position, and just keep it moving.
God, you make it sound so easy. I wish. people-
Understanding does not mean you agree with them. It just means you understand their views and where they're coming from, and you can have a proper intellectual conversation and keep it moving in life.
Right, and that's easy enough.
Yeah, but apparently it ain't. Because you see people over here waving the gun in the air because you got Muslims that don't agree with Christians and vice versa and shit like that.
Right. Dang, I didn't even think of that.
But anyways, that's just my piece today.
Okay.
Nah,
And
that's good.
That's a good piece because it's also a good transition because obviously in Sri Lanka somebody mad about somebody's religion, and I can let y'all pass that over to you. And
All right, so for those that don't know, over Easter Sunday, I hope everybody had a great Easter Sunday, by the way. And if
praise
you
the
don't
Lord.
celebrate Easter, I just hope you had a great Sunday. Because everybody should deserve good Sundays from time
That's
to
the
time.
rest day.
Exactly. But me, I was at a damn work.
No rest.
Oh yeah, I was too.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about that shit.
Me and Javel were there. We closed.
Damn.
We
Shout out to
closed again.
Zach too.
Yeah, shout out to Zach, bro. Shout out to Zach. But anyways, going back to this whole Sri Lanka thing. So Easter Sunday, suicide bombers struck churches and hotels in Sri Lanka.
Oh,
Suicide.
Yeah,
Suicide.
and it killed more than 290 people. And it was basically a highly coordinated attack targeting Christians and foreigners.
I think ISIS claimed they did that.
Well,
But any big thing like that, ISIS always claims.
yeah,
it.
well, when the news broke, I haven't really followed up on it just because I've been busy with school. Fuck school. but go to school because people need to be educated out here to some degree. But still, fuck school. But when the story broke, there was no group that claimed responsibilities for the attack.
That's what I'm saying. ISIS always does that shit. So I don't know if it's actually them or they just say, "Oh, something crazy happened. Let's just claim it."
ISIS in it for the clout. Shut.
Facts.
They clout chasers.
They are clout chasing.
And if anybody from ISIS is listening, I'm just playing with y'all.
Yeah, don't come for me.
Don't come for me, bro.
You know we jokey joke.
Yeah, exactly. You don't listen to episodes 1 through 5.
Really.
But as of now, like, you know, nobody's claimed. Well, I don't know about now, but when the story broke, I should say that there was nobody that claimed responsibility for the attacks. But again, we got somebody over here attacking another religious group, I guess, if you want to say it that way.
It's the evil world we live in.
Bro,
word to Austin.
Word to Austin, bro. It's the evil world we live in.
Oh, shit.
But still, though, I'm like, dude, we gotta come together more as a human.
That's really all
race.
it is to that. I mean, you can't
Unity.
really, that's really all it is. Just coming together. That's just the human race. Like, but the chances of that happening,
very slim.
At least when we're as long as we're alive, it's not gonna happen.
I mean, I feel like we can if we all like it. You know that cheesy saying, "It all starts with you." Like, you know, but no, for real. If everybody had enough and was like, "All right, we need to actually do better," we could do better. Like, whenever somebody wants to do something and they stop bullshitting and then they're like, "All right, I'm gonna really do it," it gets done.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing, because I've always
That's
told
a lot of niggas to convince, though.
And that's where it becomes hard. But I mean,
well, you gotta think about
it's
it.
always majority.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's always majority over minority.
I mean, yeah, but because see, I always said this. Well, at least this was my way of thinking in terms of, because I forget what class it was, but I think the question was, you know, what could we do to move forward as a society or something like that. And I just remember thinking, like, you know, everybody was kind of like going in depth into their, you know, questions or answers, I should say. And to me, I thought it was pretty simple. And it's going back to what I said in the last little segment. It's all about understanding one another.
Yeah.
That's really the simplest thing is the most hardest thing to do.
Like you said, you don't have to agree, but just as long as you understand it.
Yeah, so I'm not saying, like, you know, me and Javel had a difference of opinion on whatever aspect it was, you know, and it got to a heated debate. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, I'm going to clap this nigga for no fucking reason. Right. I'm going to be like, okay, why is he thinking this way? Oh, okay, I see why he's thinking that way. I still don't agree, but I understand why his way of thinking is the way it is on this certain issue. And I'm going to say, okay, still don't agree with you, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to dap you up and we're going to keep it moving.
Keep it moving, exactly.
But like I said, it's not that difficult, but the simplest things to do in life are sometimes the hardest things to do.
Facts. Yeah, for sure.
But to me, that's the only way we can move forward as a society. And we need to do away with one thing in this world, and that is political parties.
Interesting. Please explain.
Politics.
Because you have to understand, I think we need to start picking our presidents, not necessarily based on parties and affiliations, but more so what they bring to the table and what's going to help everybody. I'm not saying, because you really can't help anybody, like everybody specifically, but what's going to help the majority.
I like that.
Because
I do feel that.
You know what I'm saying? Because people are quick to say, "Oh, I'm Republican. I'm going to vote for a Republican candidate,"
without hearing the other parties.
Without hearing anybody else's beliefs or anything
Yeah.
like that. So, like, people, you know, there's diehard Democrats, there's diehard Republicans, and they let their affiliation, your party affiliations, dictate the decisions that they make.
Exactly.
Right.
So, I think to me, if you do away with them, you're not necessarily dictating it on what, you know, political affiliation you have, but more so on what the fuck they're going to bring
It's
to
just
the table.
unknown.
Exactly.
Yeah, as long as they have their.
Because at that point, to me, you have to. It makes candidates a bit smarter too, because at that point it's okay. Well, now I can't have like the Democrats voting for me because there's no political affiliations. Now I actually got to know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I didn't even think of it like that. I'm just thinking, okay, well, we getting away from parties, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So that's just me. I think because you got to think about it. That's one aspect in this world, especially here. Well, obviously here in the United States, where there is a big like divide.
About the parties?
Yeah, by Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and then even same thing with conservatives and liberals. You know, each has their different views and they refuse to see each other's side.
Yeah. And I mean, but I see the purpose of parties now. Like as we get older, like I guess when I was younger and I saw like parties, I saw it as like Democrats are more like the peaceful people, and then Republicans are like those assholes. And then now it's like I look at it more like a normal Democrat. Granted, there is a bunch of racists and a bunch of assholes in it, but the Democratic Party is more like the business people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus like Democrats who are more like just middle class and just average class people.
What you mean? Republicans are more the business?
Yeah,
business?
that's
Okay.
what I meant. Yeah, Republicans
okay,
are more
I got you.
business. Like, and obviously, with your idea of getting away from parties, it's like do what's best for everybody. What's best for you as a businessman, but may not be what's best for someone else as a just a middle class or low class person. So I guess that's where the divide comes. However, just in America, most businessmen are white, and then those businessmen are usually racist. So that's where that like stigma comes that the Democrats or the Republicans are racist, pompous white people, or
But see,
whatever you kind of.
I wasn't even looking at the stigmas. I was just kind of looking at like face value, Democrat, Republican. You know what I'm saying? Like the actual just affiliation of it. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily like the stigma of the people that are affiliated with the parties, but just like the parties itself.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But I'm just talking about like the basis of the party.
Oh, I got you.
Because you're talking about doing away with both and doing what's best for everyone.
No. Well, my thing is more so like doing away with them that way. When presidential candidates come to be, they're not relying, I guess.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying now? Yeah. I'm not saying.
Don't come out and be like, hey, I'm just Blank Johnson and I'm a Republican and then I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Just be like, hey, I'm Blank Johnson and this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is what I'm doing. And, that, because to me, you do away with political parties, at that point, they don't have nothing to fall back on.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's like, oh, he's Republican, he's doing this. He's going to have the Republican vote. Whereas if you do it with Democrats and Republicans, he's like, hey, I'm Bob Johnson. And this is what I'm bringing to the table.
You don't know what he is.
You don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, like, if everybody's on equal fields.
I like that.
At that point, you just vote for whoever you think has a better beliefs.
Right. At that point, you have to really, research yourself.
Yes, you have to listen.
Listen. You got to research. You got to research yourself as to whether or not these, what he's proposing is an actual, like, thing that'll not, just benefit you, but also the people as a whole to some degree. Because obviously, you can't please everybody.
Yeah,
but if you can please the majority, that's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just me. I think if you do it with political parties, presidential candidates have to be more smart.
Yeah.
A lot smart. You see what I'm saying? Got to be smarter.
I like that.
I do like that. Now that you kind of explained it a little bit more.
I've been coming in with the tactics.
Bro, I'm saying. and I'm with that, though, because it's like you said, it makes you have to come smarter. Like, you can't have that backing, like, oh, okay, I can kind of say this and this, and I know my people on my party got me. Like,
yeah, exactly.
By them. Like, nah, bro, you got to be for the people. Like, the president is supposed to represent the people to be
right,
with.
exactly.
So if you're representing a party, then you're not representing the people.
No, because you're representing a party, you're representing a small few. You're not representing America as a whole.
Yeah.
Or at least as a whole, you can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel it.
That's my only reason.
Okay.
I like that.
I do too. So since is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, just I don't know why, but I just feel like talking today like that.
No,
So
we're done on that topic.
Because but I just because we're on political, and I don't know, when you're talking about that whole thing and like getting people's votes and stuff like that, why has nobody adopted J. Cole's idea about doing votes on our phones? You remember from off KOD?
Brackets?
Brackets, yeah.
That's my favorite song right there.
And he was talking about, it is 2019. Like, why do I have to go to a poll and, put a ballot in like that when everybody has a smartphone or everybody has a phone or a tablet or a device?
Well, I think it deals with more so, I guess, because people, okay, for example, let's say we could do votes on our phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you can do it wherever the hell you want to.
Right.
Right. I think that gives there's more room for error in the sense of being more influenced to go a certain way compared to just being in a ballot by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
I'm not saying
but even if you go to the ballots, you always got the Republicans or Democrats outside of it, like pushing.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
but if you're by yourself on your phone,
anyways.
Well, yeah, but
so I'm not just gonna okay, let's vote for them. I'm like, I'll think about it, and then I just throw the piece away because I'm independent, so I don't really give a fuck about Republicans or Democrats. I'm gonna vote for who I believe has the best ideas. Right. And that's. But again, I'm just saying, I just think they don't do it because you're not supposed to be influenced or tell people who you're gonna vote for. You know what I'm saying? That's usually like the rule of thumb. But so I think that's probably why they wouldn't do it, just because they don't want.
But who? Let's be real. Who ain't usually telling people who they're gonna vote for beforehand?
Yeah, most people do that shit.
Yeah,
anyway.
like most people already be
right.
Like, when
but,
Obama was running, all the niggas was like, "Hey,
he black. I'm
First of all,
I'm going for Obama." Like,
look, no offense
we
to
already
Obama.
knew.
Like Obama had some great years. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I did hate the fact that everybody I asked, I'm voting for him because he black.
Yeah, that was not good.
I was like, bruh, like, are you like he could easily say like, I'm trying to do away with the whole black population. You still gonna vote for him? Hey, I hear his views though.
Yeah, I
like,
ain't hear his views. I just knew he was black, so I know he looking out.
it was what was it?
Wrong.
Magnificence on the damn fucking Boondocks. He was like, "There's a black president running, or there's a black candidate running for president." Yeah, you ain't know his name's Barack Obama.
Yeah.
His name Barack, or something like that.
Yeah, he was giving an interview by that white guy.
Yeah.
Barack Hussein Obama.
But again, man, that's the only thing that I had a gripe with
Mhm.
during the whole thing. Like I was like, don't get me wrong, like, I was happy the fact that we had a colored president, right? Because like me,
I think that was more of the problem too. Like
I
people
think
were like,
that-
"Oh, it's the first colored guy." Like a lot of white people voted for Obama too,
Yeah.
just to have for change, you know.
yeah. But I mean, like I said, I was happy.
But like you said, I mean, Obama did his thing. Like he had some good, like I don't know, he did his thing. He had some good beliefs, but there was some things I didn't agree with.
Yeah.
That's every president.
That's everything.
I
Presidential
was about to say,
candidate.
just because he was black and he did do a little bit of stuff, I still say he wasn't. I
He
feel
wasn't
like
horrible.
He wasn't horrible, but I also don't think he was as great as black people make him out.
Yeah,
to
he
be.
wasn't
Like,
horrible. He
They put
wasn't
him
great.
right next to Black Jesus. Like it's crazy. Like, bro.
But that's again, man. That's the like I said. That's the only gripe I had. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and say like, oh, we should have had a black president or someone that's colored. I guess I don't you like using the word colored, but I guess that's for the lack of a better term.
That's racist.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just me.
No.
I think that's the biggest gripe I had.
It goes back to like parties. This is basically like the black party.
Hey,
the black
bro.
party voted for
The Black
Barack.
Panther Party.
Yeah.
actually.
You said the Black Panther Party.
But
So.
again, man, that's like I said. That's just my whole like political.
Every
well,
nigga
not-
was voting for Obama.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. As soon as they heard black president, he said a few things. He had a black wife, beautiful family. Like,
Well,
Oh,
see,
that's
that's the
my
crazy
vote.
because I remember
Yeah.
when he ran, I was a sophomore in high school.
uh-huh.
Okay, there's a guy named Patrick. He was an Asian dude,
Mm-hmm.
and there was I can't remember the other guy's name, but he was a black kid. We're gonna call him TJ for the fact,
All right,
for
TJ.
the sake of the story. We're gonna call him TJ.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't remember his fucking name, but I just remember them two going back and forth because when he was running, TJ came through with a Barack Obama shirt on.
Okay.
So, had a black shirt on, had like 2008 or whatever, vote Obama, vote for change type shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Patrick was smart as shit. So he was like, oh, he was like, it's cool that, we have somebody, black presidential candidate running or, somebody running for president.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, what,
What his policy?
yeah, pretty much. And he was like, what are you talking about? He's black. That's what I'm vote for. He's like, and then Patrick was like, well, that's dumb as hell. And dude, I tell you, this man
Yeah, he did, didn't
he
he?
got heated and
Mhm.
like offended. He's like, "What? You don't want to see no black man in the White House?" He was like, "Well, he's going off," and he was like, "Nah, like, I understand y'all want change, but you have to understand that you have to know his policies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just vote blindly to anybody, don't get mad whenever some shit go off that you don't like.
Mm-hmm. Then you pissed.
Exactly. Like I said, I just vote so I can talk about politics and I can talk my shit. That's the only reason I vote.
I didn't get to vote for president this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I voted the last election and shit. You saw how my shit went out.
Yeah, I didn't get to.
That's what I voted.
I wasn't old enough.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. See, like I said, I just vote. And everything I can vote for, I just vote just to use,
Mm-hmm.
my citizenship to whatever extent I can, or whatever. And no, I'm not illegal. Just in case people are like, oh, citizenship, he got his green card. He's a no.
Disrespect.
Right. I was born in Los Angeles and I was raised in Atlanta. Just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, that's just me. I just think you should always use your vote to right. Your right to vote.
Yeah, definitely for this next election coming up.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big one.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big deal, you guys. So all y'all youngins, please, if you are able to vote, go ahead and vote.
Vote Kanye.
Oh, Kanye 2020.
Hell no, niggas.
I was joking. I would not put his ass in no office.
Hell no, he crazy as shit.
Yeah, he done lost it. Maybe
Maybe Kanye years ago.
Yeah, old
Kanye now?
college dropout Kanye.
Kanye now, nah.
That man too far
That
gone.
in the sunken place.
He got that Kardashian curse. They done got to him.
That's tough.
Yeah, the damn plastic got to him.
All right, let's not talk about that. All right.
We that's a whole nother
Yeah,
tangent.
yeah. We can get
So-
off topic easily.
So all right, back back to the topics at hand. We're gonna bring it back to Burlington.
Mebane, actually.
Mebane.
Yeah.
The area.
This literally happened an hour and 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, so we fresh with the news,
It's
you know
fresh.
what I'm saying? We might as well
Yes.
be newscasters.
Facts. All right, so what happened in Mebane is a carjacking case. So a suspect went on a 12-mile interstate chase with the police Friday. And then it says police refused to identify the 16-year-old. So I guess nigga was young as shit.
Dang.
Pulling out GTA, bro. He playing too much GTA.
I didn't see that. He on that Lamilton Tayshaun
Hey,
Prince.
I was
bro.
thinking,
Hey, bro, I want to do
hood rat things with my friends.
Hey, bro,
I didn't
smoking with
realize he was
cigarettes, bro.
16, bro. I just saw that.
That's
But yeah,
wild.
a
Lamilton
12-mile
Tayshaun.
interstate chase with the police. And nigga was only 16 years old.
Wow.
That's crazy, and it happened an hour ago.
That's wild. Did he beat his mom for some chicken?
Did he like to smoke with cigarettes?
Exactly.
If y'all haven't watched the Boondocks, y'all have got to watch the Boondocks.
Hey, bro,
You
shout out
ain't
to
watched the
Boondocks.
Boondocks.
You
Where
ain't
have you
cultured.
been?
For real, Boondocks is hilarious. Season 1, 2, and 3. Don't check out 4.
Four's
look-
all right. The iPhone episode was kind of funny. That one is kind
Yeah.
of funny.
Yeah, and the Jim Crow one.
Jim Crow, when they started working.
But no, not that one. It was when Granddad was a part of the civil rights movement. Have you ever seen, bro?
I
That one
don't
is
think I've seen
fucking
that one.
hilarious. That one's hilarious. But do 1, 2, and 3. 4 is okay, like he said, but it ain't the funniest one.
The OGs of the first three.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But back to the.
but that was basically it. 12-mile chase, 16-year-old. They're not. That's like I said, happened an hour ago. So I mean, it's not really much they have on it.
Bruh.
Besides that,
You really think about it. What 16-year-old in their right mind really think I'm gonna go through a 12-mile car chase?
and not get caught.
Yeah, that's my bruh. 16.
But he didn't. That's
He is though.
Bruh. But my thing is, because I was thinking back. Granted, me and you come from a different age, Kev. Because at 16, I wasn't doing that. I was just trying to beat my meat at 16. bruh.
Oh no.
That's crazy. Hey Eli. Hey baby.
But I'm just saying,
Niggas
man.
carjacking niggas at 16
That's
years
what I'm
old.
saying, bro. Like at 16, the only carjacking I was doing was on GTA 4.
Facts.
And then, like I said, at other times, bro, I was just, being a 6-year-old kid at that point.
Right.
Talking to females where I could. And then, like I said, beat my meat when I could, too. Because
Stroking your pecker.
Hey, bro, sometimes you need to. But anyways.
That Mississippi black snake.
Oh, one. But that's, hold on now.
What's
Hold
that
on.
bulge in your cactus?
Them sus-ass lyrics, bro.
Bruh. Who said it? I forgot who said that.
Method Man, I think it was.
Method Man?
I think Method Man is the one that said, "What's that bulge in your cactus?" bro?"
How do you explain that lyric, nigga? That's just gay.
That's
You can't
just
explain
gay,
that.
bro. It's the same thing with I don't know why, but the whole Loiter Squad thing.
Chill out. No.
I know what you in here for. I was caught sucking my daddy's dick. I've been sucking my daddy's dick since I was 7.
Whole field of them. I can't, bro. I can't.
No, I hate y'all.
Oh shit!
But anyways, no, but for real,
Why you got so much necklace?
that's not Loiter Squad, bro.
Oh,
But
my head hurt.
But no, but for real though, at 16, man, who really wants to be up? Then actually, you know what? I can't even judge it.
What a time to be alive, man.
Right.
But even then, like, I can't even make. I knew 16-year-olds when I was 16 that were doing crack and cocaine, so I don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
I'm about to say, kids these days, like, even though we saying that, like, man, I can't believe it, I kind of can.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't
people
realize,
just-
like,
Yo, go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut
No,
you
you
off,
go.
but when we were playing basketball yesterday,
Uh-huh.
those middle schoolers were fucking bumping the rap, like not like mainstream rap, so not like no Cold Dre. They were bumping some like trap shit that I ain't never heard of. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell is it? It sounded like ass, but I was like, bro, them niggas, bro, kids nowadays are just ruthless, bro. They were probably like what 6th, 7th grade. They had to be.
They look like middle school.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
like this though. Like if you come in that, if you 6th, 7th grade, you come acting grown to me, you gonna catch this grown ass whooping playing it simple, bro.
They were playing some fucking trap. I was like, bro, I never heard of this.
Hardcore rap
Nigga.
music, cuss
Yeah.
words out the ass. Like,
Facts
and they look
on the
like,
speaker
and
at a college campus.
weren't they playing knockout?
They were playing knock. That's how you know they young. They were playing
They're
not
playing
21, nigga. Knockout.
They were playing knockout on the courts, like elementary, middle school
Facts.
games. But listening to 21 Savage.
But I don't even know. Like I said, I don't know who the fuck
Hey,
they
bro.
was.
They were playing City Girls. I know.
Yeah, that was
I did hear
that
one of
was a
them
little
songs.
sus.
Like, so it's like.
They had that J. Cole on there, so I was proud of them.
Yeah,
they had
they-
ATM and KOD. Was it KOD?
Yeah, no, it was.
I know it was ATM. I don't know the other one.
I can't remember what the else they played. I just remember hearing ATM, and after that, I zoned
It
out.
was another Cole song. I was like, okay, I fucks with them because of that. But
They don't know
Yeah.
that lights, please.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
that's,
what
they
was
were-
top.
they
they
weren't
grew-
born. They were
they
still in the
were-
nutsack. They were still in the nutsack.
Real
Nice.
niggas
Man,
in
I
my
know about
condom
that.
on.
Shouts out to my unborns.
Bro, shout out to my unborns, bro.
But yeah, no. Back to what I was gonna say though. It's like I'm not really surprised that these young kids is really like out of hand because like it goes back to like you said, those young kids were out there playing trap rap music. And mind you, these were like little like suburban white kids, so it wasn't even like black kids.
Yeah, they were white.
So,
all white, no black kid.
Even what?
Quick question. Do you think the rap game nowadays has a lot of influence in what happens in society?
It's had influence since the 90s.
Well, not even like that point, like, you know, but I guess on the younger generation.
Oh yeah, because just think about it. When you go on ESPN, what kind of music do you hear?
Rap.
Right before the games, right before the playoffs.
I mean, then again, Undisputed got "When You Want Man Now."
Yeah.
Lil Wayne, bro.
So,
Oh yeah, they did have Weezy on there.
So everything's going to rap. Even on commercials, the Mortal Kombat commercial, 21 Savage.
Hey, bro,
You know what I'm saying?
That shit was hard though. They made it harder. I ain't gonna front, bro. I mean,
he make murder music, so of course a game about
it
killing.
is Mortal Kombat, so I mean, yeah.
So it just fits. Like
can't have no Katy Perry on that bitch. She gotta have some 21 or something.
Bro, just imagine hearing Katy Perry in the background. You hear the with the voice, finish him.
Her
Fatality. Get over here.
Oh my god.
So yeah, like just and then like it goes back to like you said, it's the music that we listening to, like 21 Savage, Gunnas, and Lil Babies. People just talking about like doing ignorant shit. It's like, of course, these young malleable minds are listening to this stuff because J. Cole too boring for them, and they don't want to listen to the lyrical rappers that actually talk about something. So of course they think it's cool to be out here in the streets doing drugs and guns and all that stuff. So and then they playing GTA.
Oh yeah, GTA though.
And so now it's like, let me go hijack a car and see what happens.
But bro,
let me get the 3 stars. Like,
but see, that's the thing, man. I think because of it, people get so out of touch with reality.
Oh yeah.
Because. Okay, just imagine this kid was playing like, not even that. Let's take it back further.
Okay.
Whenever me and you were growing up or whatever, we were playing some Modern Warfare 2.
Right.
I remember like a story broke out that this kid had killed his mom, like young as shit, because he thought she would respawn, like in Call of Duty.
Oh shoot, I don't remember that story.
Actually, that was a story when Chief Keef was getting out, like first coming out. There was a story.
Oh, you talking about the
he killed his mom because she didn't know who Chief Keef was.
Whoa.
I remember that story.
Yeah.
That was like when I was in middle school. That's when Chief Keef was first coming out.
300, bro.
Shit, Chief Keef had a big influence in me.
Yeah, he did.
You know who Chief Keef is, Mom? No, I don't know who that is. And he just
bang bang.
Exactly.
I'm tired of people say Chief Keef ain't
Chief Keef ain't this. Chief Keef ain't that. Chief Keef a fake. Shut the fuck up. Nigga was going in on some
Chief Keef, bro.
He was defending Chief Keef.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the chief. The only chief I acknowledge is Master, so I don't care.
I don't know that. I acknowledge Chief Toad.
Oh, okay. He another one. He another real one. Okay.
But yeah, I'm just kind of curious to get y'all's opinion on that because I think, like I said, to some degree it does, but at the same time you have to be smart enough to understand. Just be in touch with reality. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and but that's the thing. How many kids our age are really, or not our age, are younger than us? How in touch with reality? Well, I mean, I was in touch with reality to a pretty good degree.
Yeah, same.
Not even necessarily. I guess not in touch with reality. How, like, especially kids these days, it's like they didn't come up on the same morals as us.
That's very true.
So like, for us to be like, just be in touch with reality or just have some common sense to know right from wrong, like they weren't taught like we were taught. So for them to have that same mentality like we had, is you can't expect that on them. So when they out here doing dumb stuff, it's kind of like, well, just think about how they were raised. Like, I was talking to somebody, it's like a lot of kids are raising themselves. Like, parents aren't at the house.
Okay, my thing is, if you ain't taking care of your kids, then you deserve whatever the fuck happens. Just plain and simple.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't gonna be there for the kid, then why should the kid be there for you?
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying?
Why'd you have the kids?
Well, shit, you should have made some girls throw an orphanage that day instead of busting it inside them walls.
Instead of making it.
Sometimes the sugar walls be feeling too good, bro.
I mean, no comment.
Hey, bro,
my mom listens to this.
Oh,
no, just like, no, she does.
I'm like, I don't think.
Okay.
I mean,
I love you, mama.
I think some of my fans be listening to this. I don't really give a fuck what comes out of my mouth. Period. So I don't care. So.
Gangster Grizzlies.
Hey, bro, shout out Gangster Girls make tapes. But anyways, like again, I just think more so this generation coming up, I think is more out of touch with reality than I guess the ones that came before them.
And that's a fact. 100% fact, because we live in a technology age world, though. I feel like a lot of people ain't in the real world anymore. We're in the cyber world.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I said, when you see and walk past people, what do you see? in their phone
That's
face.
true.
Like they don't even interact with the people in the real world anymore. Like it's weird when you can see somebody and not say anything to them, but as soon as you get home, you're gonna send them a message, be like, "Hey, bro, I saw you.
Why did you say something?
Why did you say something?" Like, and you knew you saw me. That's the thing. You knew you saw me, but instead of coming up to me and be like,
we
"Hey,
made
what's
eye
up?"
contact.
I didn't know if it was you, nigga. You messaged me because you knew it was me. Like,
Right.
but
But
I don't get it.
I don't either. But again, we had that whole conversation on episode 5, I believe it was, or 4, what are them episodes? Fuck, these be running together for me. But I just remember us talking about the whole technology thing in one of these episodes.
Nigga, it's hot as Satan's dick in here.
Bruh,
It is a little
God
warm.
damn.
Yo, bro, you sweating a little bit. Dude.
bruh, my throat
Shit.
dry as hell, bro. I'm over here. Like,
I need some water.
bruh, something came over me.
Way too hot to simmer down.
What's that bulge in your khaki?
Oh no.
I do got khakis on.
Yo, okay. Back to the topic.
Good. But anyways, what else we got before we start going
Herpes.
into it?
No, no. Whoa,
Oh, hold on.
whoa,
We're talking about
whoa,
flare-ups.
whoa. Before we get to the flare up, because that is important. Just before we go from this whole juveniles and young people walling out. So this judge in Pennsylvania.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about the judge.
Yeah, this judge in Pennsylvania was sentenced to 28 years in prison in a connection to a bribery scandal that roiled the state's juvenile justice system. So basically, the case was known as Kids for Cash. He was convicted of taking $1 million in bribes from developers of a juvenile detention center, and so he was basically setting kids up that he was having cases for to go to these newly opened detention centers, and he got busted in 2011. But just
2011,
now,
damn, 8 years later.
yeah, I mean, of course,
Trials and
trials,
Yeah,
and
shit.
he got money, so he can kind of get stuff pushed back.
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
delayed.
his money stretch.
Yeah, he can make it stretch as long as he
He made
can.
that shit stretch for 8 years.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
And-
bro.
He probably living life for 8 years, too.
Oh, he knew because 28 years, bro. He already like 50 looking. Like he look kind of old. He got gray hair, so he in his 40s, like 40s,
least.
50s.
Hey, bro.
That's the rest of his life. He probably gonna die in there.
Oh, damn. Like that.
I hope he
Damn,
dies in
Kevin.
there. That
Oh,
hey,
Kev.
I mean, think about it. You were putting kids into jails that probably didn't need to be.
Mhm.
Even though, granted, they did throw away some of the cases, like 4,000 actually between 2003 and 2008. They threw those cases out because you can't tell if he did it because they actually deserved the time or
Because he would just want to be that
he was
dick.
trying to get that payoff. Like, and so just think about it. In Pennsylvania, I don't know exactly what part of Pennsylvania he's from. I don't think it really said, but I'm pretty sure a majority of them were African American, like Philadelphia,
Lock them niggas up.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, basically he was like throw them away. So it's just like
That's wild.
that's tough, right? And I'm just like,
Couldn't be me.
Bro, I wish someone would put me in jail for no fucking reason. See if I don't come out and start blasting and give him a reason to put me back in.
no. I'm going for a reason.
That's what I'm saying.
So just wanted to throw that out there. I thought that was a crazy case. And my question is, do you think 28 years was a good enough sentence?
I mean, he's gonna die regardless. And but then again, money stretch. I mean, I don't know how much you know what I'm saying. It says, granted, the sentencing's already been did, so, but they somehow have ways like work around it. Like, oh, he's sentenced for 28 years, they're gonna serve 6 months.
Oh, right. And that's always that money talks. And I mean, that's why he did it in the first place. $1 million bribe, like, or millions in bribes, multiple. So it's one of those things. It's like, how do you even stop that? Like, that's wild. Like, to be like, just imagine if it's your kid. Like, you. I mean, granted, they obviously did something to get into that judge case.
Right.
But just to know later on, like, he probably didn't. I mean, you probably knew he didn't deserve the time he was given, or those things he was given.
Or so he was he given like, just because I guess my question was he sentencing or was he given this time?
Was he given like 2 extreme sentences?
Yeah, that's what West was trying to
I don't
ask.
even know if it doesn't really specify like the reasons, but it's more like he was accusing them and sending them to the penitentiaries that he was getting bribes from.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
okay,
So
okay,
granted,
okay.
they might not even deserved it. Maybe they could have just did some community service or something like that.
Even
or
then,
even if they did deserve it, he was specifically sentencing them to where they would have to go to this.
got you.
just because they were giving them payouts.
Yeah.
got. So at that point, it's kind of like a quota.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey, bro, you send us 3 motherfuckers in here and send. I don't give a fuck what it is. We'll give you $2 million.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, here's 3 for no damn reason. Cool.
Yeah.
Here's $2 million.
He was finessing the system. Damn.
Hold on, time out.
I mean, them numbers wasn't.
Hold on.
I don't think the numbers were that rash. If anything, it was more like thousands. For
Okay,
millions.
but still though, I mean, if they got money to give out for bribes, why can't we get money to get some prison reform?
Because, Ivan, that's a whole nother podcast. That is a whole nother podcast.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, you know, this, that, and the third about the prisons, so they're being overpopulated, and then they ain't got no money to be able to feed them all this shit. Apparently, I got enough money to be giving people bribes.
But see, that's the thing, because like I said, they're new, so they're spending that money.
I don't want to hear that shit.
Because they make the money from the retention. That's what I'm saying. So the more filled they are, the more money they get. So it's like, okay, it's like putting out an investment. I'm gonna invest in this judge because I know he gonna give me this turnout.
Right, but my thing is this: fuck off.
Oh well, yeah, 100%. I hope you burn in hell.
Right, because
I hope they rot in hell.
Yeah, brother, I hope they go down there and stink me and whip that ass, bro.
What's really good?
What's good, nigga?
But that's wild to me that people really out here just sending people away to jail for no fucking reason. Like, well, the reason, yes, but just for I guess more so for the bribe and the payout.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, like, oh, here's $1,000 your way, you know, or something.
1,000 a head.
You know, that's 3, bro. I'm sending 3 heads. That's $3,000 like that.
I can chill, and then you still getting paid because you're a judge.
Exactly. So I'm still getting paid.
Making money on the side.
Right. That is a
hey, bro, like the people at
hustle.
Pizza place at Tanger, bro, out here selling.
Oh, no, we ain't doing it. We ain't talking about
No,
that.
okay. We are going to do that off cam because I want to
Yeah. You want to know what's wild?
What?
Herpes and Coachella.
Oh my God.
Bro, let me tell you something, bro.
Oh my
Actually,
God.
you know what, Javel? Go ahead and just let the people know what happened this past weekend, bro.
Niggas were having fun in Coachella, bro. Shout out to niggas in Coachella having fun, coming home with herpes.
Shouts out to him. I feel for him.
Damn.
You
But
should
anyway,
send prayers out.
I'm sure most of y'all are young, so I'm sure y'all heard about Coachella, but some niggas, I don't know what the hell was going on. Niggas, herpes was getting spread all over the place.
My thing is, what was the numbers?
But like I said, it was like different numbers. So I seen like anywhere from like 1,100 to like, let's say 1,100 to 11,000. I don't know the exact number because I've been seeing.
Wait,
big ass discrepancy.
Yeah, exactly. I've been like,
11,000. How many people were in attendance at Coachella?
You gotta think about it. It's a 3-day event, bro. It was probably.
You gotta
Coachella
think,
is bigger than Dreamville.
Dreamville Fest was 40,000. And that festival was probably small compared to Coachella. There's more artists and it's 3 days.
And it's 3 days. You know, people want to get that nut off.
That's facts too.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Oh
and at that point, like, imagine like y'all drunk as hell off the MDA or MDMA. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Perks.
MDMA.
And,
My nigga, I like how you looked at me like I'm the pharmacist.
Hey, bro, like I'm just looking at you because I feel like if I don't know what you know, it kind of
True,
vice
that's
versa.
true. But no, yeah, MDMA down. There's probably off the ecstasy. Probably off the perkies, probably off of Zan blunt. Who knows?
Bruh,
People just do some hardcore shit these days.
But even then, like, think about it. Like, how mad would you be if someone that had herpes was like, "Hey, bro, you trying to hit this blunt? You ain't know it." And
And yeah, young boy gave you the blunt.
Exactly. Like, so now you got a herpes infested blunt in your hand and then in your mouth.
Oh man,
Gonna be me.
I'm glad I stopped smoking.
Hey, bro, facts. I'm done. I'm trying to get my anxiety under control, and smoking was getting in the way.
That part.
But no, that's just crazy to me because I don't think it was spread through sex. I really feel like it was.
I was like blunts. That's what I thought.
I think it's drugs
Yeah.
and sex to some degree,
I feel like it's mostly drugs.
but mostly drugs.
Nigga, we saw many people passing the blunt at that Dreamville Fest.
That's why they didn't take it from nobody unless it was
Facts.
coming from somebody I knew specifically.
I don't know you. I don't know what you're doing.
Exactly. Hey, bro, you trying to hit this? No, I'm good.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it spread through like shit like that.
Yeah, or just people like I said off the ecstasy. You know, they hormones is raising. They probably just kissing random people in the mouth like.
Get your ratchets in the mouth, bro.
Yeah. And next thing you know, your mouth fired up.
Yeah.
I'm really fired up. I'm
Losing
losing my mind.
bro.
Hey, bro, shouts out Jim, bro. We're going to see you next month. Or, next month in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Hey.
like a week.
May. Damn,
That's a week and a half.
May 9th.
Yeah.
She gonna be lit. Got
JID.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Airbnb.
Sean.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Sean, bro. You gonna break his butt ass naked, bro.
That's Trent's boy right there. Sean.
Hey, bro. Shouts out
What?
Trent for getting Sean to give us the place, bro. Okay, let me stop spreading lies like this for Trent.
Facts.
Before people think like, oh, Trent,
Trent
you really
gonna
out
get
here.
mad.
Yeah, but nah, bro. I don't know because that man said breakfast is included in this Airbnb.
And Starbucks. I don't know if that
And
means it's
Starbucks.
going to be breakfast in like the fridge.
Yeah,
I think it's
And
one
like
of them things. He's
Starbucks-
just
or
gonna
he
have
just
a
gonna-
bunch of cereal. He gonna have some breakfast sausages.
Yeah,
He gonna say some
or-
Eggos.
but he
Bruh,
said
ain't gonna
Starbucks.
serve the sausage, bro.
I mean, you can
Keep
buy
that.
Starbucks coffee from stores. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can just. So at least when we brew it, it's gonna be Starbucks
Okay.
brand. So hey,
Regardless,
shout out to that.
nigga.
Yeah.
Shout
And we
out.
by the beach. Oh. We lit.
We lit, bro.
Don't catch herpes now.
Hey,
Whoa,
bro,
whoa.
believe.
Now I don't have sex. What you mean?
I don't know what that is.
I'm virgin.
Exactly, bro. I'm a Christian. I
Coach
don't
Turner
know.
told me if you go to the bar and you see a little girl, she got the Herpes virus.
Oh, bro.
just stay away. Like Coach Turner taught me well, so I'm just gonna stay away.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you like this. I don't give a fuck.
This nigga.
Savage.
Nah, but on some real shit though, like this Coachella thing really got me paranoid for going to see Jid. Cause now, cause Coachella be bringing people worldwide. People, people from Virginia Beach might be up in that bitch. Now they got all them damn flare ups and shit. Now I got to worry about it.
I'm pulling up in a fucking
Hazmat.
hamster ball.
Oh.
Hamster ball. Oh, I got you.
Well, adult size hamster
Shit,
ball.
I'm
Nobody
pulling-
touching me.
Hell no,
Yeah.
bro. I'm putting in a hazmat suit.
That's
What
what
you
I'm
talking
saying.
about,
I'm coming
bro?
there, spaceman. What's with
Exactly.
looking like the VMAs out
Yeah,
here.
hell yeah, bro. Hey, what you got that on? You hot? Hey, bro, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm safe.
I got built-in air conditioning.
Hell yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. But no, for real though. Now that I think about it, like these outbreaks of like STDs and stuff is getting crazy. Like
Yep.
when you think about like Atlanta is like AIDS populated.
Bro, that's
Coachella
sad.
had niggas with herpes. Like,
Bruh.
I think there's another area that was like pretty bad in one of those two.
Yeah.
Like I don't personally know people, but I mean I do personally know people with herpes, and then I know people who know a lot of people with. I know that's like a he said she said, but
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you like this.
the
bruh.
herp is more close than you realize.
Hey, bro. First of all, you got the herp. Stay away from me. Because, hey, bro, I'm telling you, bro, stay away from me if you got the herp. Cause and if you come to my house, and get the herp, you better bring the cup from
Bring
your
your own
house
cup, bro.
and put your name on it because you ain't got time for it.
Shit.
Same thing if you eat ass, you better bring the cup from your house because you ain't drinking out of my cups.
That's enough
This
for me,
nigga.
dog.
That's enough for me, dog.
But yeah, no. But in case you are living with herpes and you're like, oh shit, I flared up today. Javel got some treatments for your ass too, because you know what? We got it like that. We PhD certified out here. We
Educational
doctors.
WebMD doctors.
Yeah, exactly. So
Basically over-the-counter drugs like ibuprofen and aspirin. That's
And-
really it. And it said, hold on.
Yeah, well, I got you.
Doctors said
You gotta dip your dick.
they recommend soaking the affected area in warm water. So just dip your ball sack in some warm water.
You either gotta dip the vagina with the damn
Dick in
nut
the-
sack and dick in the damn warm water. You better
Oh,
keep it moving.
shit.
And when you take your bath, no bath bombs, because that's just gonna make it worse. Just go ahead and let that coochie sit. Let it
I
marinate.
can't. He said let it marinate.
Hey, bro, like I said, bro, I feel for you if you get the hurt, but damn, bro, I know how it goes. Actually, I don't know, but
Be like
I
that
don't
sometimes.
know.
hey, bro, I had cancer. That's about it, bro. So I can only
Oh,
imagine how
shit.
herpes is,
Yeah,
bro.
no, that's long term. Like,
That's for
God
life.
bless, I never got nothing long term.
That's what I'm
That's
saying, bro.
Suck.
Like I know, like I said, I know I had cancer, but nigga, I'm cured.
Yeah.
Ain't no curing that.
I don't know how you live with herpes, bro. I feel so bad for you, bro.
Oh my
We
god.
laughing, but this is serious.
It is
Like,
serious.
It's so sad because I know your life is like completely screwed. Not screwed, but it's
Chopped and
completely
screwed.
different. Like because like
Sex wise.
I mean, yeah, in real life, because I mean,
Well,
you
yeah.
gotta anybody you interact with that could pretend like because it's more it's transmitted besides just sex. So
Exactly.
you literally got to be like, oh, we eating together. Imagine going out on a date with a girl and she'd be like, here, try my food. Like no,
Got
for
her
real.
spit all over that
Yeah,
fork.
like,
Or even guys too. Hey, bro, it's like in a basketball game. Hey, bro, I'm thirsty. Let me hit the water real quick.
Oh,
yeah,
you
shit.
know what
got
I'm
a
saying?
waterfall.
Yeah, bro. I
You
don't
gotta
think even that.
Put your hands out.
Like we were
go-
doing at the concert.
Put your hands
Like some
out.
damn Africans, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel for people that got herpes or any sort of STD. I really do,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Wow.
Because, like I said, I had a disease too. On the flip side of that, I had no control over that.
Yeah.
But so I can relate to the disease part. But if you just caught something, to me, it's like if you catch something, like I feel for you, but at the same time, I really don't, because there's ways to prevent this shit.
Condoms.
To some,
Abstinence.
yeah,
Well, to some degree.
abstinence, and it's like basically the best way not to have any risk of getting an STD is just not having sex at all.
Yeah.
Right? But
not when you're a teenager.
Apparently not.
hey, bro, let me tell you something.
That's the most horny days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro. I know how them days were, bro. It was like I said, at 16, I was beating my meat. I was horny as shit. But we about an hour in.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well,
It's like right about an hour. But yeah. So, anyways, if you got herpes, just dip your sack or your vagina in
warm
the damn,
water
I
in
love
warm
how
water.
we say that so casually. Dip your sack in some warm water.
It's just in one,
Do
to
it.
relieve the pain.
Wash your pussy.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
And because I love leaving y'all with some sort of vocabulary because I feel like everybody should expand the vocabulary to some degree. Here's the word of the day.
Turtles.
Not turtles, actually. Close. It's pseudopig. Whoa, shit. Hold
That
on.
don't count close.
I don't know what close that is, nigga.
It's pseudopigraphy. Pseudopigraphy.
Pseudopigraphy? Pseudopigraphy.
Yeah, pig. There you go.
Pseudopigraphy.
Yeah.
How is that related to turtles?
He
It's
said
not.
close.
Okay.
But the only way it's related is because it's a noun.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
See, I got you with the
You shooting a lot of mathematics.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Mathematics always add up. Do y'all know what that means?
Let's
Herpes.
Close. It's the false ascription of a piece of writing to an author.
Okay, Ivan.
Yeah, so now you know the word. Use it
How do you say it?
properly. Pseudopigraphy.
Use it in a sentence.
Pseudopigraphy.
Yeah, so use it well. Use it in context, and make sure you understand what the fuck it means. Because half of y'all don't be using the right fucking terms and shit. Because y'all dumb as hell.
I'm about to spoil Avengers for y'all, by the way.
Yep.
Obama dies at the end.
Yes, he does. And on that note, guys, appreciate y'all listening. If y'all made it this far, again, it's been me, Ivan, my boy Kev, and the handle guy, Javel.
Oh my god. And Eli.
We got
our new
Eli.
guy.
Bro. Shouts out the Book of Eli out here.
We
Cause
got a
he's the
white
goat.
boy over here now.
Hey, yeah.
We really diverse in this motherfucker. We
Yeah,
need
we-
an Asian.
To be
I
honest,
was literally thinking
We
that.
need
when
an
I-
Asian now.
hey, don't really about the white guy because somebody got to talk to the cops. So that's how that goes. Bye.
Bye.